Hi, and welcome to this brand new video. Today, I'm going to be talking about the differences between arrays and array lists. To get started, let's first take a look at how both of them are declared. Arrays, you declare them in Java like so, while in array lists, you declare them a little bit differently. So I'm just going to just compare how both of them are declared. So you notice something very key here, that right here you declare the size of the array. Because in arrays, it stays constant. So if I had an array such as 1, 2, 3, 4, I can change it to 1, 2, 3, 5, but I cannot change it to 1, 2, 3. I cannot add or delete elements from the array. While in array list, you can see here that there's no size declaration, which means that the size is flexible. The size is changeable. So if I had an array or array list, as 1, 2, 3, I can change it to 1, 2. I can delete. I can add, and I can mutate. Something else that you're going to see here is right here. This is what we call a primitive data type. While over here, this is what we call an object data type. They're both integers, but they're of different types. Before we continue, I'd just like to quickly explain one of the main differences between primitive and objects. So in primitive, if I declare an integer, let's say number, and I set it equal to 6, what it will do is that memory would create num and store the value in a box. However, if I create a string, which is an object name, equal to the Wiz, I can have name, and what it'll do is that'll lead to a box with a pointer to a bigger box where it's actually stored. And these boxes are allocations in memory. So a bigger box would just mean a little bit more storage. So that means right here, this is a pointer. So it has a pointer or a reference to another box. So that's one of the main differences between primitive and objects, but there is much more that I won't get into right now. So like I was explaining, arrays typically include primitive data types. You can declare a string array, but most of the time, if there is a primitive version, you will use the primitive data type. So uses primitive when possible. However, in array lists, you only use objects, or most of the time you will use objects. You can see here as an example that it uses an object version of integer, even though it's storing integers. So this uses objects. So as a recap, arrays have a set size. It is constant. While array lists, they have a changeable size. We also see one more difference that we talked about is that this uses primitive data types when possible. While over here, we see that it uses object data types. It will be very, very, very rare if you see a primitive data type being used in array lists. So hopefully that helped explain the difference between arrays and array lists. See you in the next video.